Long ago, on the sun-drenched island of Crete, a terrible curse haunted the magnificent kingdom of King Minos. Beneath the sprawling palaces and towering cliffs, a monstrous creature, half man and half bull, lurked in the shadows. This beast, born of a divine curse, was known as the Minotaur. Ashamed of the creature, King Minos commanded his master craftsmen,
Ho, ho, ho!
Daedalus, to construct the greatest labyrinth ever built, a sprawling, twisting maze of stone walls, so vast and cunning that no man who entered could ever hope to escape it. Inside this prison of stone and shadow, the Minotaur lived, a symbol of royal shame and terror. The price of this curse was high. Every year, the city of Athens was forced to send a tribute of its finest youths
Ho, ho, ho!
and maidens, a sacrifice to be fed to the monster. We can imagine them trembling at the labyrinth's entrance, pushed forward by grim-faced guards, their hopes extinguished as the heavy stone doors sealed behind them, their cries lost in the echoing corridors. But one year, a hero arrived. From Athens came Theseus, the son of the king, a young man whose heart burned with courage and whose mind was sharp with cleverness.
Ho, ho, ho!
He stood on the shores of Crete not as a victim, but as a challenger, his face resolute. He volunteered as part of the tribute, determined to end the reign of terror and free his people from this bloody annual sacrifice. As he looked toward the palace, he spoke to himself, a quiet vow against the sound of the crashing waves. I will face this monster.
Ho, ho, ho!
And I will not fail. His determination caught the eye of someone unexpected, Ariadne, the daughter of King Minos himself. Secretly sympathetic to the young hero, and horrified by the sacrifices, she met Theseus in secret. She offered him not a weapon of steel, but a tool of ingenuity, a simple ball of thread. Take this, she urged, her voice a soft whisper in the tense air.
Ho, ho, ho!
Tie one end at the entrance and unwind it as you go. It is your only hope. It will guide you back from the darkness. Theseus took the thread, his gaze meeting hers with a silent promise. Thank you, I will return safely. With the thread clutched in his hand, Theseus stepped across the threshold into the labyrinth. The air immediately grew cold, thick with the scent of damp stone and old fear.
Ho, ho, ho!
Darkness enveloped him, broken only by the flickering light of distant torches that cast long, dancing shadows. Every turn led to more confusion. Every corridor looked the same. The labyrinth was more than just a maze of walls. It felt alive, whispering with the despair of those who had come before him. The only sounds were his own echoing footsteps, the steady drip of water from the ceiling,
Ho, ho, ho!
and a low, guttural growl that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. The shadows seemed to move just at the edge of his vision, and the walls themselves felt as though they were shifting, closing in. The growl grew louder, reverberating through the stone, a clear sign that the Minotaur was near, hunting. Theseus gripped the hilt of his sword, his knuckles white.
Ho, ho, ho!
He rounded a corner and finally came face to face with the beast. The Minotaur stood there, a towering nightmare of muscle and fury. Its eyes glowed with red-hot rage in the gloom, its massive horns lowered, ready to charge. It let out a deafening roar that shook the very foundations of the maze and stomped its hooves, kicking up dust from the stone floor.
Ho, ho, ho!
A lesser man would have been paralyzed by fear, but Theseus stood his ground. I will not run, he shouted, his voice defying the oppressive silence. The battle was joined. It was a clash of brute force against speed and agility. Theseus dodged the monster's powerful swipes and thunderous charges, his movements fluid and precise.
Ho, ho, ho!
He was no match for the Minotaur's raw strength, but he knew that was never how he would win. He had to outthink the beast. That was his true weapon, his mind. Instead of meeting the Minotaur's charges head-on, Theseus used the labyrinth itself against its prisoner. He lured the monster down a series of narrow, twisting corridors, forcing it into a passage so tight that its massive shoulders
Ho, ho, ho!
and horns scraped against the stone walls, limiting its movement and slowing its attacks. In that moment, when the beast was wedged and off balance, Theseus saw his opportunity. With a swift, strategic strike, he lunged forward and brought the monster down. The furious roar was cut short, replaced by an echoing, profound silence. Then a new sound began to build, the sound of triumph.
Ho, ho, ho!
With courage and cleverness, Theseus had overcome the beast, proving a timeless lesson that strength alone is never enough. Wisdom and strategy can triumph over even the greatest and most terrifying of foes. For a moment, Theseus knelt, catching his breath, the adrenaline of the fight slowly fading. The labyrinth, once a place of heart-pounding terror, was now still. His ordeal was not over. He still had to escape.
Ho, ho, ho!
He turned and found the shimmering line of Ariadne's thread, his guide back to the light. He began to follow it, his steps now sure and steady. The thread led him back through the disorienting twists and turns, a lifeline of hope in the suffocating darkness. Finally he saw it, a sliver of daylight. He emerged from the labyrinth's entrance, blinking in the bright sun.
Ho, ho, ho!
The youths and maidens who had been sent with him, who had feared they were lost forever, cried out in relief and joy. The labyrinth, once a prison of fear, had been transformed into a monument to courage and ingenuity. And Theseus, the hero of Athens, prepared to return home, not just as a victor, but as the bearer of a powerful story, a lesson of wisdom, bravery, and cunning for all generations to come.
Ho, ho, ho!
As Theseus sailed away, gazing at the Cretan horizon with the thread still in hand, the empty, silent labyrinth remained. It served as a stark reminder of the terror it once held. The story of Theseus teaches us that some monsters, whether they live in a maze or within our own minds, cannot be defeated by force alone.
Ho, ho, ho!
Sometimes it is courage, cleverness, and a steady heart that light the way through our darkest and most confusing trials. The Minotaur may be gone, but the legend of the labyrinth and the hero who dared to face it will live forever. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into myth, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow for more legends from the ancient world.
Ho, ho, ho!